Hello from Samoa! Welcome to Samoa, or as I like to call it, the real Jurassic Park, minus the dinosaurs, thankfully. Located in the heart of the Pacific, this island paradise boasts lush rainforests, pristine beaches, and enough waterfalls to make even Niagara jealous. Now, Samoa wasn't always chilling in the sun. About 3,000 years ago, some intrepid Polynesian explorers decided to ditch their mainland life and set sail for adventure. They landed in Samoa, unpacked their canoes, and said, "Home sweet home!" These OG Samoans were masters of navigation, using only the stars and their incredible ocean reading skills to find their way. Talk about a GPS upgrade! So, what makes Samoan culture so unique? Let me introduce you to the Fa'a Samoa, which basically translates to the Samoan way. It's all about family, respect, and community, kind of like a giant family reunion, but with better snacks. Samoans take their families seriously, like really seriously. They have huge extended families and everyone chips in to help each other out. It's like a built-in support system, but instead of therapy sessions, you get delicious home-cooked meals. Samoan culture is also big on respect for elders. You won't catch any eye-rolling teenagers here, at least not in front of their grandparents. Fast forward a few centuries, and guess who decided to crash the party? That's right, the Europeans. First came the missionaries, eager to share their religion, and maybe snag some beachfront property. Now don't get me wrong, the missionaries did some good things, like bringing education and healthcare. But they also brought diseases that the Samoans had no immunity to, which, let's be honest, is not the best housewarming gift. And then came the colonial powers, because what's a tropical paradise without a little geopolitical drama? Section 4. Three's a crowd, Germany, Britain, and America, walk into a Pacific island. Picture this, Germany, Britain, and the United States, all eyeing up Samoa like it's the last slice of pizza at a buffet. The year is the late 19th century, and the Pacific is the new frontier for these global powers. Samoa, with its lush landscapes and strategic harbors, becomes the focal point of their ambitions. It's not just about the land. It's about the influence and control over the Pacific trade routes. Each country wanted a piece of the action, mainly because of Samoa's strategic location in the Pacific. The islands were seen as a gateway to the rest of the Pacific, a crucial stopover for ships, and a potential military outpost. The stakes were high, and none of these powers were willing to back down. It was like a game of Risk, but with real islands and real consequences. The diplomatic chess game that ensued was intense, with each nation trying to outmaneuver the others. Treaties were signed, broken, and re-signed as the balance of power shifted back and forth. You had Germany flexing its muscles, sending warships and troops to assert its dominance. The German Empire was eager to expand its colonial reach, and saw Samoa as a perfect opportunity to showcase its naval strength. Britain, on the other hand, was trying to maintain its empire, ensuring that its vast network of colonies remained interconnected and secure. The British were wary of German ambitions and were determined to keep Samoa within their sphere of influence. And the US, well, being the US, was keen on expanding its own influence. The Americans saw Samoa as a stepping stone to greater power in the Pacific, a way to project their growing naval capabilities and protect their interests in the region. Let's just say things got a little messy. There were treaties, there were warships, and there were plenty of heated negotiations. The tension was palpable, and the threat of conflict loomed large over the islands. There were even a few near misses with full-blown war. Naval standoffs and military posturing became common sights in the waters around Samoa. Each nation was ready to defend its claims, and the situation was a powder keg waiting to explode. It was like a reality TV show, but with more colonialism. The drama, the intrigue, and the high stakes made the struggle for Samoa a fascinating chapter in the history of imperialism. In the end, the islands were divided. But the legacy of this colonial contest remains a testament to the lengths these powers would go to for control and influence. Section 5. The Treaty of Berlin, because sharing is caring, sometimes. Finally, in 1899, after years of tension and conflict, the three powers decided to put down their metaphorical boxing gloves and sign the Treaty of Berlin. This was a significant moment in history, as it marked the end of a prolonged period of rivalry and the beginning of a new era of cooperation, albeit one driven by self-interest. This treaty officially divided Samoa into two parts. Western Samoa went to Germany, and Eastern Samoa went to the US. The division was not just a simple line on a map, it represented the culmination of years of strategic maneuvering and diplomatic negotiations. Britain, meanwhile, got some other islands in the deal. These islands were part of a broader strategy to maintain and expand their influence in the Pacific region, ensuring that they remained a dominant colonial power. I guess someone had to draw the short straw. In this case, it was the Samoan people who had no say in the matter. The colonial powers were more concerned with their own interests than with the well-being of the local population. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, they just carved up an entire country between them? Yes, that's exactly what happened. The colonial powers saw the world as a chessboard, and the people living in these territories were mere pawns in their game. Yep, that's pretty much what happened. The Treaty of Berlin was a clear example of how the interests of powerful nations often took precedence over the rights and desires of smaller, less powerful communities. The Treaty of Berlin was basically a way for the big powers to avoid going to war with each other, but it came at the expense of Samoan autonomy. The Samoan people were left to deal with the consequences of decisions made in far-off boardrooms, their fates sealed by the signatures of men who had never set foot on their islands. Section 6. The Mau movement. Samoa takes a stand peacefully. But the Samoans weren't about to take this lying down. A non-violent resistance movement called the Mau emerged, fighting for Samoan independence. The Mau movement was all about peaceful protests, civil disobedience, and looking incredibly stylish while doing it. They wore traditional clothes, sang songs, and basically told the colonial powers, "We're still here, and we're not going anywhere." It was like Gandhi, but with better weather. The Mau movement showed the world that Samoans were not going to be pushed around. Section 7. Modern Samoa, independent and thriving, mostly. Finally, in 1962, Western Samoa, now just Samoa, gained its independence. This was a monumental achievement for the Samoan people, who had endured decades of colonial rule and fought tirelessly for their right to self-governance. It was a long and hard-fought battle, but the Samoans had finally achieved their goal. The journey to independence was marked by significant events and figures, including the Mau movement, which played a crucial role in rallying the people and pushing for change. Eastern Samoa, however, remains a U.S. territory to this day. This division has led to different developmental paths for the two regions, with American Samoa benefiting from U.S. support, while Western Samoa forged its own path. So what's Samoa like today? The capital city, Apia, is a bustling hub of activity, blending traditional Samoan culture with modern influences. The streets are alive with markets, shops, and people going about their daily lives. Well, it's a vibrant democracy with a growing economy and a culture that's as strong as ever. The government has made significant strides in improving infrastructure, healthcare, and education, contributing to a better quality of life for its citizens. The Fa'a Samoa is still going strong, and the spirit of the Mau movement lives on. This traditional way of life emphasizes community, family, and respect, and it continues to be a cornerstone of Samoan society. Plus, they've got some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, so there's that. These pristine shores attract tourists from all over, contributing to the local economy and showcasing Samoa's natural beauty. Samoa's story is a reminder that even in the face of colonialism and hardship, hope and resilience can prevail. The legacy of the Mau movement and the journey to independence are celebrated and remembered by the people, serving as a source of inspiration for future generations. Plus, there are cocktails. The vibrant nightlife and friendly atmosphere make Samoa not just a place of historical significance, but also a fantastic destination for relaxation and enjoyment.